Good.
Okay. This is, welcome to the ZBA. I'm going to tell you how the hearing proceeds. First, I have to give a notification that this hearing is being recorded in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law and broadcast over Lunenburg Public Access. I'll introduce the members of the board. Lisa Normandin is the board secretary. I'm Al Gravel. This is Jim Bezakowski, Hans Winthrop, and Sheila Lumi. Lisa will read the application and any other submitted communications, and then the applicant will have the opportunity for comments on the application or submission of additional documents. You'll please come forward to the mic, give your name and address, and board members will have the opportunity to ask questions that they might have at that time while the applicant is at the mic. There'll be a public comment period, although it doesn't look like there's too many from the public here. But if anybody does show up, they have to come to the mic, give the name and address, and address all comments and questions to the board. The board will go into deliberation, and there are required findings for any special permit, and they are as follows. 1, that it will not be injurious or dangerous to the public health or unduly hazardous because of traffic flow, congestion, danger of fire or explosion or other reasons. 2, that it will not have a material adverse effect on the value of land and buildings in the neighborhood or the amenities of the neighborhood. 3, that it will be operated with reasonable regard for order and sightliness if in open use. And 4, that it will not produce noise, vibration, smoke, dust, odor, heat, or glare observable at lot lines in amounts clearly detrimental to the normal use of adjacent property. And I do have to mention to the applicant that normally it is a 5-member board. We are light tonight. We are 4 members, and it does require a supermajority. So tonight, you would have to get 4 out of 4. Normally, if there's 5 members, you can get 4 out of 5. So it is up to you whether you would like to proceed or continue.
I would like to proceed.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I would ask Lisa to please read the petition.
This is an application for a special permit, Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 9, Zoning Board of Appeals. The name and address of the applicants are Daniel C. and Jean M. Proctor of 1529 Mass Avenue in Lunenburg, and the hereby makes application as follows. Seeking a special permit to locate a sign advertising Whalum Wash Car Wash. An application for the same dated 10/16/07 was submitted to the building inspector and was denied by the same for the reasons stated in the letter attached hereto. The proposed action has not begun. The basis for this application is found in the following section of the Lunenburg zoning bylaw, section 6.5.1.4. The street address of the property is 380 Electric Avenue in Lunenburg, assessors map 98, parcel 168. The name and address of each holder of legal title to the land, which is the subject of this case, is Daniel C. and Jean M. Proctor of 1529 Massachusetts Avenue in Lunenburg. The deed is recorded in Worcester Northern District Registry of Deeds, Book 6709, page 117, and recorded 4/28/2008. If the undersigned has any knowledge of a prior appeal, application, or petition concerning the land or building involved in this case, describe the case and the dates involved. In April 2017, they sought approval for the car wash and the construction of said car wash. They have answered the questions outlined in the special permits on page 3. The question was, will the proposed action be injurious or dangerous to the public health or unduly hazardous because of traffic congestion, danger of fire or explosion, or other reasons? The reply, the proposed location of our Whalum Wash sign will be in no way injurious or dangerous to the public health or unduly hazardous. Because of the setback from the road, it will in no way interfere with the entering or exiting of our car wash. We strongly feel that by not moving the sign, it would cause more of a hazard. The traffic traveling in a southerly direction would not see the signage until it was too late to properly stop and turn into the business, possibly causing a rear-end collision. B, will this action have a material adverse effect on the value of land and buildings in the neighborhood or on the amenities of the neighborhood? The reply, we feel the sign and placement in front of our car wash will enhance the value of our property and the surrounding area and will not adversely affect the value of land and buildings in the area. C, will the proposed action be operated with reasonable regard for order and sightliness if an open use? C, we thoughtfully and tastefully designed the Whalum Wash sign for our car wash. With the assistance of Tony Benoit, owner of Arthur Signs in Fitchburg, we designed a professional yet fun car Whalum Wash sign. D, will the proposed action produce noise, vibration, dust, odor, heat, or glare observable at the lot lines in amounts clearly detrimental to the normal use of adjacent property? D, the sign will not produce noise, vibration, dust, odor, heat, or glare. It will be lit with LED lighting and will not be detrimental to the normal use of adjacent property. And that is signed on October 16th by Daniel and Jean Proctor of 1529 Mass Ave. There is a letter from the building official. Dear Jean and Daniel, I have received your request to install a freestanding sign at 380-390 Electric Avenue. The proposed sign would be located directly on the front property line. Your request is denied because it would be in violation of the protective bylaw of the town of Lunenburg, Section 6514. Section 6514 requires all freestanding signs to be located a minimum of 20 feet from the front property line. You may seek relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals as provided in Section 8.3 of the bylaw. And that's signed Gary Rhodes, Building Commissioner. There is also a list of abutters for the property provided by the Lunenburg Board of Assessors, a site plan. There is a rendering of what the sign is going to look like, and a site plan provided by Ducharme and Dillis showing the location of the sign. I also received correspondence from 2 town boards. They were all notified. I got a notation from the Lunenburg Conservation has approved an order of condition on file. Mr. and Mrs. Proctor are compliant with the conditions set forth in the order. And I also received a memo from Fire Chief Patrick Sullivan saying he has no issues with the sign placement. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
And with that, I will ask the petitioner if you would like to add to the petition. If you would you please come up to the mic?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dan Proctor, 1529 Mass Ave, my wife Jean, obviously. I really don't want to add anything. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, what we're trying to do is get all the traffic to be able to see our sign in a timely manner, so they're not coming down Route 13, see the sign at the last minute, miss the exit, entrance, that type of thing. Unfortunately, a lot of vegetation off the road, where we have to put the sign according to the law, that 20 feet off the property line. Route 13 has a huge 80-foot wide road, so it ends up putting that sign literally like 45 feet off the edge of pavement, which is quite a distance. So that's why we're seeking that relief, to get it within 1 foot of the existing property line. And the only thing I had is just a picture of the sign, a color a little better than the one that you have in your handout. Obviously, 36 square feet is the minimum, or maximum rather, and that falls under that category.
Correct. So you're seeking no relief on the sign, just on the setback of the sign?
I'm sorry?
What you're seeking is just the setback of the sign?
That's correct, yep.
Within zoning, all of that, the sign complies with that?
That's correct, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good, thank you.
Certainly answer any questions as they
Okay.
need.
Want me to start, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go right ahead.
So I went, can you just clarify, because I don't see the, I'm looking at the Ducharme and Dillis plan. Is this the curb that you just put in?
That's correct, that's
Okay.
the granite curbing,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Yep.
So I was, as I was going down there, I was just looking at some of the other signs. Some of the other businesses have signs, pylon signs. My concern was how far you're going to be. That's what I wanted to find out, address how far you were going to be from the road. But I'm satisfied that you have the curbing there. So if someone's not going to jump the curb, they're not going to run into the sign.
Yep.
How far back is that from your curbing?
So from the curbing to the property line is 24 feet.
Okay.
So he's showing the, edge of the sign a foot off, so
Okay.
it would be 25 feet
Okay.
from the curbing at Route 13
Okay.
to the edge of the sign.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think where that placement is, I couldn't see. I mean, I think that placement is probably in line with what the other, I know every decision is on its own merits, but if you went down the street, they don't have the vegetation either, because I was coming southerly and you could see
Right.
the vegetation and then where the sign is, so. I just wanted to clarify that was the curb.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right, they are all pretty consistent at
Yeah.
that same sight line.
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Jim?
I had the same question about how far away it was from the line, and I saw that you put the curbing in today or yesterday, and looking at this, it's as close back as you can get it within that frame of reference and everything, and so I have no questions or comments.
Okay, Sheila?
I have no questions.
Okay. And I will just comment. I went down there and looked as well. The placement, the original placement, was off to the side. It didn't make a lot of sense from what, in the setback, didn't make a lot of sense. I did look at this location as well. And from the road, from the edge of the road, and like you say, with the granite going down around in this area that he has created, it makes perfect sense to me to put that sign in that location. And it is clearly at least, you say 25 feet, and I believe it's at least 25 feet. So if there are no more questions, then I would accept a motion.
I'll make a motion that we grant the special permit as requested for the sign placement.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second, so I will call a vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. With that, it is granted.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
I will tell you that when I was down there and looked around, I think you're doing a great job. I know that, we went through some of the things and conditions and everything. It looks like you held up with all of them. It looks great, so.
Excellent,
Thank
thank you
you
very
for
much.
that.
We're shooting for about 10 days from now, so hopefully your cars will be good and dirty then. Thank you very much.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
Thank you. You have a good night. Good luck.
We'll see you.
And with that, I don't believe there are any other hearings tonight, so.
I'll make
Oh,
a
you know what?
motion.
I have to read one more thing. I have to just read this.
Yeah.
And I almost forgot because there's nobody here. There is a post-decision instructions I have to read. The special permit is granted with the contingency that the petitioner comply with all licenses, regulations, statutes, ordinances of any and all applicable local, state, and federal boards or agencies with jurisdiction over the premises. The special permit is subject to a periodic review by permit granting authority or the enforcement officer to ensure compliance with any conditions. Non-compliance to such conditions may result in revocation of this permit. A copy of the board's decision shall be filed with the town clerk within 14 days. Any party aggrieved by the board's decision may appeal to Superior Court within 20 days after the decision is filed with the town clerk. After certification by the town clerk that 20 days have elapsed since the decision was filed, you should have it recorded with the Registry of Deeds. No special permit shall take effect until it has been recorded. The special permit shall lapse within 2 years unless substantial use of construction has commenced. And with that, again, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And with that, I don't think we have any other business, so I will accept the motion.
So move to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
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 And with that, we are done.